Hey there, today is just over a 30-minute workout. We will be doing 30 seconds on, 10 seconds off. Why do I keep the break at just 10 seconds in between exercises? Because it maintains our heart rate up and we get then a great cardio strengthening workout. Today I'll be having two sizes. I'm using 5 kilogram dumbbells and also 3. For some of you at home, you may want smaller for your arms, bigger for your legs, or you may just want the same all the way through. It totally depends on you. But sometimes, particularly if you're a beginner at strength training, have a couple of sets of weights so you can alternate between the two. We're going to get into this now. The last bit of this will be on the floor, but if you don't want the floor, grab your bed and do it on your bed, and we'll have a stretch at the end. And I'm assuming you've already warmed up before we start this workout, and that can just be marching on the spot, walking up and down your hallway for 3 to 5 minutes. But we're going to get straight into it today with our first 30 seconds. Grab your smaller weights if you like smaller for your hands, and let's start. Okay, for the first one, we're going to be doing some little skis. So taking these out in a little squat and bringing these arms to the front. If you may want your lighter ones with these, as this is actually quite hard to do. Making sure that we still sit our bottom back and bringing these arms to the front. Lovely. Good. We're keeping that core on. We're going to grab one weight. We're going to bring this weight from high down to our knee. We're going to reach up and then bring it right down to the sides. Nice reach up, bring it down. Reaching up, bring it down. Every time we come down to that knee, making sure that that core is on and my back is staying straight. So I'm not trying to round out my back. So reaching up, bring it down. Lovely. Whew. Well done. Good, have a break there. We'll go to the other side. Whew. My bigger 5 kilo weights are already getting my heart rate up. I don't know about you. Reaching up, bring it down to that knee. Reaching up, down to that knee. Why? Often when we're using a lot of legs, only using a little bit of legs here, but when we're using multiple muscle groups, we're actually getting blood flowing to lots of different parts of our body, and that heart and lungs have to work hard to bring oxygenated blood around our body. So we're going to be working it hard. Now, our next one, we're staying low. Want you to crouch low, and all we're doing is taking a tap out to the back. Now you can either hold these arms in by your side. You should feel this leg that's staying low. Otherwise, you can be taking these into some running man's arms and bringing them out and back. Just going to add intensity that way, so your heart rate will be going. Beautiful. Good, you should feel this leg that's staying on the floor. You should feel that leg working hard. Good. Whew. Oh, how are you going at home? Hope you're doing well. And if the weights that you've picked are too much, pop down to the other weights. They come in here and bringing this in. Great. Good. Staying low with that leg. And we're going to repeat all that we've just done. Woo! Oh yeah. Can feel my heart rate flying, staying low on that leg. Even though we're low with the leg, you're not trying to bend forward. You're still keeping that chest up. Great. Back to the skiers. All right, so it's a little tiny squat into that as we take our legs out to the front. Whew. That's it. Ooh. Well done. Now you may, instead of taking this into a front raise, you may take that into a bicep curl, and that is fine as well. Good. Otherwise, out to the front. Oh, that's it. Well done. Okay, back to our wood chop. Back into one hand, and we'll be reaching this up nice and high. Whew. reaching up, bring it down to that knee. Now remembering, if you're really new to strength training, you don't want big weights for a start. In fact, your weights may be non-existent. You may be doing this without a weight, so you can just get the hang of the moves and what we're trying to do here. So here we're just trying to reach up high and then down low into this knee. Bring it just around to the side of the knee. Little pull in from your belly button into your spine, so we've got that core activated, and then we'll be taking it to the other side, reaching up and reaching down. It's a little trying to twist around to the side. Great. Good. Whew. Well done. Whew. So yes, if you're a beginner, you may have really light weights today, but just really getting the hang of everything. And again, we're going to that tap in. While we're doing that tap in, staying really low on that leg. Lovely. Staying low, bringing it in and out. All you might be focusing on today is keeping this knee stable so it's not caving in, and then tapping in. If you feel like you can then add the arms, then you can add the arms. But with any moves we do today, you can just be staying low. Great. Good. Good, and we're going to change to the other side. Getting ready, and off we go. Well done. Now if your weights were really light and you want to add some intensity into this, still stay down low with that leg, but you can really pump those arms out. Only if your weights are light and you felt like you could without doing anything to your back. But just staying low with that leg, keeping that chest up the whole time. After this, I hope you've got your drink handy. We are going to have a drink break. Grab your drink and I'll see you back in a moment. So our next one that we're going to be doing wide legs, and we're simply going to be weight shifting. So shifting your weight from one leg to the other. Now as we come, we can reach these down, these arms. Again, making sure that chest stays up because I want that back to stay straight. If you feel that your back's starting to feel this, stay upright a bit more. You may not go down as far, so that's fine. We're all at different places when we come to our bodies. Right, now for my next one, I'm coming up against the wall. I'm going to take my feet out a bit and I'm sliding down the wall. And I'm simply going to take bicep curls here. Now, if you don't have a wall, you can also just opt to sit here, or you may be over a chair, just hovering over a chair. Imagine a chair behind me, and I'm not actually sitting down. I've just got my bottom just up off the chair, and I'm hovering. So it means that my legs are doing quite a bit of work. At the same time, I'm adding arms. Now, if you don't want to add the arms, just hold in that squat and don't be doing the arms. Good, I'm taking mine into a one-arm row. So if you felt your weights were too light, you could take both weights into one arm. I'm just taking one today, and I'm having a lean into that leg, and I'm just pulling that elbow back, trying to draw my shoulder blade back at the same time, while I'm in this forward leaning position. So I'm in this, just a hinge forward. So I'm just leaning forward into that knee. I've also got my core on, and my tongue is on the roof of my mouth. So then you should be feeling that shoulder kind of at the back there. If we go up a bit more here, I'll feel more my shoulder, but if we can do a big lean forward while still maintaining that straight back, then I'm doing more behind my shoulder into my upper back. So we're going to take the other arm now. Again, core is on, tongue is on the roof of that mouth, and we are going to feel that back working. Great. Good job. The main thing when we're strength training is to make sure that that form stays good, because then we can start to get ourselves used to being in a certain way before we go into bigger weights down the track. Just want to make sure that form is good to start with. Good. You can hold one weight or two. I'm going to hold two. We go into a wide squat. So toes are out and knees face out over the toes. We're going to go down into a very low squat, and then we're going to pull these elbows up. So I'm coming up into a high upright row. But if you want to just focus on here, you can. If your knees don't like the up and down, just stay down. You can even stay down here and do your upright rows here. But I want you to feel those inner thighs working. For some of you whose inner thighs are very tight, you may need to bring those feet in a bit further. Great, we're going to go back to that weight shift where we were wide. We're going to go from side to side. We're going to reach down one side, reach down the other. Good. Making sure your form is good and you're staying safe. What are we working here? Every time we go to this leg, we're working right through that leg, that upper thigh, also some inner thigh here. And as we bring that arm up, we're also doing some arm work as well. But really just making sure, if you don't like the arm work, just focus on the shift side to side, back to the wall squat. Walking out, sliding down, and bicep curls, or hovering over your chair and taking bicep curls here, or just holding. They may choose to do that. Remember, you can do this hovering over a chair too, if you'd like to. Great. Good. Whew. Great. If you're in a warm environment, making sure you've got a fan on you or aircon. You don't want to be overheating, but also it's harder to work out when you're really, really hot. So just having that lean forward, core is on, back is straight, and then bringing that elbow up. And you can take both weights into that one hand if you did want to. Well done. My core is on, and if I had a stick down my back, should touch my head, my shoulders, and my hips. Good. Whew. Well done. Good. We'll change to the other side. Oh, that's great. If the two weights become too much, pop one down and keep going. The main thing here is if I had that stick down your back, I haven't got you rounded out. So many people who work at desks or computers during the week, they're just naturally rounded. So the natural thing that they will do when they do this lean forward is they'll go into that rounded position again. I want you to pull those shoulder blades. Always need to stay back. Shoulder blades back and down, and just pretending like you're trying to, well, over the other side, trying to hold a little kind of plumb under your armpit so you don't have this weight way out to the front. I'm going to go back into that sumo squat, so nice wide legs, taking it down and bringing it up with those elbows. Now, if two weights was too much with you, just take it down into one weight. And if that was too much for you, you don't like the upright rows, just staying down here. You can come up a little way if you want. Just always working with the weaker parts of your body or the parts that don't work too well. So when we strength train, we're only going to the point that your weaker parts will also feel okay. If they don't like it, we change the exercise. Time for our next drink break. See you back in a moment. All right, we're coming to our third round. I want you to think about as we hinge forward here and we come forward into this hinge, I want you to really think about these shoulder blades staying back into your armpits, up, back, and down, so that we're not allowing our shoulder blades to come away. And always think of holding those weights close to your body. Can be a help for some of you. We're going to start with a side lunge, so working our legs, our adductors, which are our inner thighs. We're going to be working all that. We're going to take it to the side, and then we're going to bring it back in a little curtsy. So off to the side. We're not going to use any arms here. And I'm going to swap it. Oh, she will stay one side. So bring it out to the side. Your knees may not like this. Don't step out as far, a little bit behind. Don't come out as far. But if you can, stepping right out into a big side lunge. So all my weight shift is going onto this leg that steps out to the side. But again, you want your knees to face the same way as your toes. You don't want to be stepping out and having your knees coming that way. Are really important to make sure everything tracks along the right way. Lovely, we'll head off to the other side. Lunge. If you don't like the curtsy behind, just stick with this side lunge. Just stick with this. Otherwise, into the curtsy as well. And only going out where your knees are happy. When we come to strength training, there are some parts of our body that are weak and other parts that just want to work hard. But if the weaker ones haven't caught up to a degree yet, you're going to have to work within the confines of what your body can do. Don't allow it to go through soreness just because one part is strong and wants to achieve more. So be kind. We're going to do that hinge forward, and I'm just going to do double rows here. So just bring in those elbows. Good. Well done. Whew. Great. You're really trying to draw those shoulder blades back as you're here, keeping that back straight. Tongue is on the roof of the mouth, but really trying to draw those shoulder blades back. You may prefer a split stance where you've got one leg out behind you. That can make it a bit more doable. We're going to do a check press. So we're going to start with our elbows up, our palms in, and from here, we're going to come out. We're going to go up. We're going to come in and down. As we come down, keep those elbows in. Out, up, bring them back in, and as we come down, those elbows stay close inside the shoulders. This supports your whole upper back, your scapular area. And bring it back in and down. Great. We're going to repeat these ones one more time, and then we are down on the floor. So let's have a look at this side lunge again. We're getting there. Lovely. Stepping out and behind. Good. Hopefully you can feel those legs working and you don't have knee pain. Just probably a good reminder to everyone that we never work through pain. So if it's a grabbing pain, a sensation that doesn't feel good, now I have one more unstable side than the other, and I certainly feel that side working a lot harder at stability, but it's not grabbing, it's not pulling. And so always being aware of that. And just if you do, you either stop the exercise or change the range of motion. So if when I step out here, I'm getting pain in that knee, try just a small step out. You might find that a lot better. And you may not do the curtsy, but you may do a small curtsy. So your choice of how hard you work and working with what your muscles tell you that you can do. Great. Good. We have 6 seconds left. Right, our next one is going back into our bent over double row. And for some of you, you might find the 2 at one time too much, so then just do 1 row, 1 row. Otherwise, if you're up to it, both rows. And you can even have, just for a change, we'll take those palms to the front, but also still pulling those shoulder blades back. Like somebody's got a string on both of my shoulder blades and they're drawing them back together. Well done. Oh yeah. I can certainly feel my upper back working. Good. Okay, our check press again. We're going to be starting with these arms in. So our palms are facing in. As we come out, come up, come in, and come down. So out and up, in and down. As we come down, nice and slowly, those elbows stay inside our shoulders as they come down to support that upper back. Great, and all the muscles around our shoulder blades. Whew. You want your core on when you do that lift up overhead and a little whew. Well done. We're having a break. You'll still need your weights on the floor. So let's head down, have a drink break, and I'll see you down there. Now, if you need a mat behind you, put a nice mat, even a pillow behind you. I'm taking a weight, but you don't need a weight. All I want you to try and do with this is a little rock back and up. Little rock back. And you can use this weight, if you've got a weight in your hand, will often act as a way to get up a bit easier. So you can really pull that. So if you can't get up, try the weight. Otherwise, just bring it up without the weight. And again, you can hold these legs and they can bring you up. Now, you're not going to be doing this when you get a lot stronger, but this can be a way that you can do it at first. Lovely. One of my favorite ones is just going from the floor up onto my elbow and up onto my bottom. It just really works that core nicely. Arm slightly out to the side. The leg that's got the arm, the weight is just coming up. This is all we're doing. We're just coming up to the ceiling. We're looking at that weight as we come up. And we're coming, if we can, straight up. If you've never done any get-ups from the floor before, pop the weight down and your whole aim will just be to see if you can get up. You may even put the weight down, coming over, more over to one side, and then reaching up, starting with your arm down. There's always ways and means that we can work and progress along. But if you can, your weight, it could only be a 1 kilo, mine's a 5. I usually would do this with probably a 12. This is not hard for me, but you just need to start being able to come up and pushing up with that elbow that's on the ground. We bring ourselves up and reaching up, looking at that weight the whole time, making sure before we even start that your kind of shoulders feeling comfortable and bringing that up. Great. Okay. Our next one is another favorite. This is a side plank. Going to bring our knees up. We're going to have our elbow straight underneath our shoulder, and we're simply going to be coming up and trying to take that leg out. Now, if that's too hard for you, come back down, see if you can come up, do a little short one. But if you can, coming up and holding that leg there. This is working my obliques, my side abdominals. It's working my outer glute, my other glute. So the gluteus medius. It's also working right down through that leg and my shoulder. So there's a lot of bits that are all going on here, but come down when you need to, come up when you need to. It's a great exercise to really work those glutes, because we need these glutes to stabilize our pelvis. So this is a great one to do if you can. And as I said before, you don't need to start up here. You can come down when you want to, come up when you can. Good. Well done. Now, if you want to make this a little bit harder, if you're thinking, you can play around with that leg positioning. The hardest bit is to take that leg behind you. So if you can, getting that heel behind you a little bit further. That is a harder position, but do what you can. If you can't, that's fine. Stay right as you are. Good. We are going to do a front plank now. So just on our front. Now, coming up from your knees or curling your toes under. Going to have your arms side by side, and your main thing here, particularly if you're up on your toes, is don't drop those hips down, okay? So you want to still have your hips up to the degree that you don't feel that through your back. Good. Well done. If that becomes too hard, come down to your knees. When you can, come up again, or if you're on your knees, come all the way to the floor, have a rest and come up again. Great. We're going back to that first one that we did. So either with your weight or without your weight. First I'm going to do a little rock and coming up. These abdominals have to do quite a bit for you. Now, if you're somebody that just can't do this at all, although if you hold these legs and coming forward, you should be able to, you could have a little band attached. You can hold on to the band and help you to come up until you can get a little bit stronger there in those abdominals that you can do it. But otherwise, just coming up, and then when you want to work a bit harder, you can bring some weights into each hand and make yourself come up with a weight. You'll certainly feel that working your abdominals. Lovely, one arm straight. Let's start with the other one first. So the leg that's got the weight is the bent leg, the other one arm slightly out to the side, and I'm looking up to the ceiling as I lift that up. Good, straight up and reaching up. It's like I'm on the roof. If you imagine you've got a friend on the roof and you've just gone from the floor, it's life and death. You need to pass this weight up to them on the roof. That's what you're doing. You're not kind of trying to go over to the side over here, just trying to lift straight up to the roof. So over here again, we'll proceed. Great, and then doing my little lift. Well done. Making sure that tongue's on the roof of the mouth, because that neck is also doing a lot of work here. And it's probably a good time to remind you that if your neck is sore, then you would not keep doing this. You would only do it to the degree that your neck will allow you to, and then you'll stop. You may have really strong abdominals, but your neck is not so good. Then just playing around with what you can. Let's end off with that side plank and side plank. Why? Because we can. So bending up those knees, making sure that elbow's straight underneath, and off we go. And a reminder that you can bring that foot, that heel around to the back, and it is hard work. Otherwise, bring it forward. It can come forward as well. You can play around with that. So you can come forward for a bit. It'll just do different parts of this gluteus medius that attaches into your hip. So you'll feel your hip doing quite a bit of work, but you can actually play around with that and bring it round, front, side, back. Explore. It's a good thing about strength training. You can explore because there's lots of different moves that will work you in various parts. So even though we're doing a side leg lift and this is working my gluteus medius, I can also be taking that leg in a variety of directions, and it will be working that. Also at the same time working my side abdominals, my obliques, also at the same time working my shoulder. So yeah, play around with things. If they don't hurt, you can feel it working, then you know it's probably pretty safe if your form is good. Lovely. Oh, I hope you've enjoyed that workout. I've certainly felt my body work. We're going to go into a stretch, so stay with me, have a quick break, and let's get into it. My favorite time of the class, stretch time. Let's take our arms out to the side. We're going to take one leg down, one knee up in the air, grab that hand with the opposite knee with the opposite hand, and just pull across. We get a nice stretch in that glute, lower back. Ah, beautiful. That's good. Very nice. Good, so we're stretching out here our glute, kind of side glute, also our lower back, and also should feel a bit of a stretch into the front of that shoulder with the arm that's lying down. We're bringing that leg straight, taking the other leg up, holding onto that knee and pulling over. Right, hopefully you can feel that stretch nicely. This is a great one if you have issues with your kind of hips, your glutes, hips. It's a lovely stretch to do. And one that I had to do when I first had some issues with my sacroiliac joint, which joins your hip to your spine, is a great stretch to do as well. Great. So from here, we are going to just take one foot over the other knee. Now, some of you, that will be enough of a stretch. You'll feel this glute stretching, but for the rest of you, you want to pull that leg back and you'll get a lovely stretch. Beautiful. I'm going to run through these quite quickly, but you can come back, you can pause this and take it a bit slower if you want. Take the other foot over the other knee and pull back. Great. And we take our feet together, so the soles of the feet together. We're going to grab our ankles, our knees are out as far as they can go, and we're just going to pull these feet in towards us to give a lovely inner thigh stretch, and you may even feel a bit of a lower back stretch there as well. You can also push those knees out a bit with your heels as well. Great, from here, let's actually come up onto our bottom. Just take these two knees over for our hip stretch, one leg back, and let's hold up that chest high. We're going to go over that knee. Good. Your aim here is to not slump all the way down. Your aim is to hold this chest up high, and we're just doing that hinge forward from the hips. Great. And you should feel this glute underneath, but also an inner thigh stretch probably here. Great. And as we go back, we're going to just keep this back knee down. You should feel a quadricep stretch. If you wanted more of a stretch, just take up that foot and pull it up towards your butt, and you'll feel a quadricep stretch in that back leg too. Great, let's take these over to the other side. Same thing again, taking one leg back. Going to have a gap between that foot and that knee, holding that chest up nice and high, and we're just going to lean forward over this knee. Great. Good. So I hope that you can feel that glute having a stretch on the front. We're just going to take up that, either lean back to get your quadricep stretch, making sure that knee stays down to the floor, or grab that foot and having a little pull up to the bottom. The remainder of our stretch is going to be standing up. Let's go up. And we're just going to roll down. So just rolling down, just rounding out that back when we first come down, and then just hanging ourselves down as far as we can. You'll feel these hamstrings having a stretch. You can tell if your hamstrings are pretty tight actually by this stretch. If they can only come somewhere about here, probably you know you've got some work to do, but that's all right. The more you do these sort of stretches, the more that you'll be able to extend there. Going to come up just till we get to our knees, and from here I'm going to take, so this arm is straight, I'm just going to take this shoulder in and look over my other shoulder. Gives a bit of a back stretch, bit of a shoulder stretch. We're taking it to the other side and looking over. Lovely. From here, let's just take ourselves and up. Just a little arch here as we come down, round it up, coming up, little arch coming down, and then rounding it, coming all the way up. When we come up to the top, our shoulder blades are up by the ears, our shoulders are back and away from the ears, and then down. Let's round out. So this is the one time you can round out. I wouldn't want to see you strength training like this. That would be not good, but when we're stretching, we can. Bring those shoulders right up by the ears, bring them back, and bring them down. And let's just open up these arms, big opening up, then round them out. Really scrunch everything forward, open up, and round out. Now our last stretch can be done on the chair, so if you have a chair and would prefer that, you grab your chair and you're going to sit down on your chair. If you want to do it standing up, you can grab the wall. We're going to take one leg up, same if you're on your chair, you'll take one leg over the other knee. Now if you're on your chair, you'll simply lean forward. If we're up on the wall, we're simply going to sit back into that, like I'm trying to sit on a pretend chair. And you should feel a nice stretch of this top glute, kind of as we head down. And then taking it to the other side. If you're in the chair, you'll simply lean forward. If you're standing up, you'll just sit down into that. And in fact, our last stretch we'll do here. So leaning forward, straight leg, so heel down at the back, straight leg. We're stretching our upper calf here. And we're taking that stretch, just leave the leg where it is, but bend that back knee. You'll take it into a lower calf stretch with our soleus, attaches down into our ankle. And then we'll just take it to the other side. Other leg, leaning forward, straight leg, heel is down. And then bending that back knee. Oh yeah, it's always, I don't know about you, but I'm always tight in that lower calf area. I think because I do a lot of walking and hiking and things, I'm not really still for long, so I get quite tight there. So don't forget to stretch all those bits out. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know how you went with that. Any problems with that, please let me know as well. And I look forward to seeing you next time.